that's in you is to be innovative, to defy the odds, to go against the grain, to go against tradition, to do a new thing, to do a radical thing.
The Bible contains the mind of God, the state of man, the way of salvation, the doom of sinners, and the happiness of believers. Its doctrines are holy, its precepts are binding, its stories are true, and its decisions are immutable. Read it to be wise, believe it to be safe, and practice it to be holy. It contains light to direct you, food to support you, and comfort to cheer you. It is the traveler's map, the pilgrim's staff, the pilot's compass, the soldier's sword, and the Christian's charter. Here, paradise is restored, heaven opened, and the gates of hell disclosed. Christ is its grand subject, our good the design, and the glory of God its end. It should fill the memory, rule the heart, and guide the feet. Read it slowly, frequently, and prayerfully. It is a mine of wealth, health to the soul, and a river of pleasure. It involves the highest responsibility, will reward the greatest labor, and will condemn all who trifle with its sacred contents. Pray it in, read it through, live it out, and pass it on.
Well, happy Sunday, family. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing and we are glad in this day. I don't know about you, but this morning I'm just glad to be alive. I'm glad to be alive. As you know, we don't normally go live on Saturday and Sunday. But because we're in this time of fasting and prayer, I want to keep you focused and in faith as we continue in this journey. This is actually day 7. This is day 7, and I pray that you are again staying focused and in faith as we are doing our absolute best to continue in this journey. How has the journey been so far? Hey, I hope that it has been. I hope that it has been well, and I know that there are others of you that are part of various churches, and that's the beauty of this prayer call, that we are an evangelistic ministry that brings you this daily message of encouragement, of empowerment. Um, but we are a movement of flame igniters in various cities and states, across churches, across various denominations. But together we have taken the mandate from the Lord to creatively reach the least, the last, and the lost through the power of our talents, testimonies, and technology. And you are a part of it. Now, listen, today I am continuing to lift all of our sick, all of our shut in, all of our bereaved unto the Lord, thanking God for all of our birthdays and anniversaries. If today is your birthday or anniversary, let us know. We'd be happy to shout you out. And I'm excited about worship on today. That's really what I wanted to prepare us for. I'm excited about worship on today. 9 a.m. is going to be our Sunday school. 10 a.m. is going to be our morning worship experience. And, we are going to not only lift up Jesus, but we're going to remember that great man, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who spoke at the Central Baptist Church. Did y'all know that? Dr. King spoke at first at Ebenezer. And then a year or two later, he came to Central. That was one of his larger visits. And then he spoke in sort of like a stadium, here, his final time, a year or two later, even after his speech at Central. And so I'm so excited that Central is a part of Dr. King's legacy. And Dr. Talley had a wonderful relationship with him, our seventh pastor. And then Dr. King received one of his divinity degrees from Crozier Theological Seminary, which is about 4 or 5 hours from Pittsburgh. Did y'all know that? All right. So yes, Dr. King has a rich legacy, connected to Central Baptist, connected to Pittsburgh, connected to Pennsylvania. And I am just glad today that we are a part of that legacy. But it's not just enough to talk about the legacy of Dr. King. What will be your legacy? And I'm so glad today we're going to have the lovely ladies of the Zeta Phi Beta sorority. They're going to be joining us today, and they're also going to be presenting a workshop at 12:30. At 12:30. So after we get out of church, we're going to mix and mingle a little bit. And the estate and retirement planning workshop will be 1 hour, 12:30 to 1:30. But I need at least 50 of us to be there today. Because we've got to start asking ourselves, what will be my legacy? What will be my legacy? What will be the legacy that I will leave in the earth? And so that is going to be from 12:30 to 1:30. This is not the only financial planning and financial literacy. We're going to have something every month. And this is the one of January. And I'm giving God praise, honor, and glory for that. So it's a full day, but we are still fasting and praying. So I want to very quickly give you this word, because today I am going to be shifting to the chapter 26. I'm going to be shifting to our chapter 26s in the Bible. And did y'all enjoy the verse 26s? Yeah. All right. And so today I'm going to be preaching from Acts 26, but this morning I just kind of wanted to introduce it, if that's okay. Today I'm going to be dealing with the full chapter, but I wanted to look at what Paul says here in verse 4 through 8, this just in this brief section that we have together. And I want to ask you, what's your story? What's your story? Let's read verse 4 through 8 from the Message translation, and then we're going to get off of this thing and get ready for church. And I'm telling you, there's something that God has for us today. But notice what Paul says. From the time of my youth, my life has been lived among my own people in Jerusalem. Practically every Jew in the town who watched me grow up, and if they were willing to stick their necks out, they tell you in person, knows that I lived as a strict Pharisee, the most demanding branch of our religion. It is because I believed it and took it seriously. committed myself heart and soul to what God promised my ancestors. The identical hope, mind you, that the 12 tribes have lived for night and day all these centuries. It's because I have held on to this tested and tried hope that I'm being called on the carpet by the Jews. They should be the ones standing trial here, not me. For the life of me, I love verse number 8. I can't see why it's a criminal defense or offense to believe that God raises the dead. And I want to talk about what's your story. Now, really, Paul, as you can see on the slide, Paul tells his story from verses 4 through verse number 18, and here's kind of the backdrop of this, that Paul in Acts chapter 26 is standing trial, but he views his trial as an opportunity. He views his trial as an opportunity. Every trial and tribulation is an opportunity. I want y'all to hear that today, that every single thing you go through is an opportunity to expand your story and or to tell your story. And this is why it's so important that you have the right perspective. And so Paul is standing trial. And he's standing trial, and he says, now, I got a story to tell. And it is God that is using this moment to tell my story. Now, this is interesting because today we're going to talk about the story of Dr. King. Of course, every Sunday we go to we go to worship, and worship is incomplete without visiting the story of Jesus Christ that impacts our story. But today I want you to think about, what has the Lord done in your life? Where has the Lord brought you from? And I love this because Paul says, from the time of my youth, he said, I lived among my people and I kept alive all of my traditions and my religions. I held on to hope. Watch this. But something happened. Verse number 8. He says, for the life of me, I can't see why it's a criminal offense to believe that God raises the dead. Now, this is important because he is keeping alive tradition, but dead to the real purpose that God has for him. And at some point in our lives, we've got to come alive. We don't start living until we come alive. Are we just going to make our lives a continuation of going through the motions? Are we going to continue to go along to get along? Paul said, in essence, I was on the wrong side until God raised the dead. Now, what does this mean? He's first talking about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. If you remember, Paul, before he became Paul, was named Saul. And he was so devoted to his religion and to his tradition that those who had started believing in the new resurrected Jesus, he persecuted them. Matter of fact, he was on the road to Damascus, headed to persecute more of those Christians. But when Paul got stopped in his tracks, the one who had been raised from the dead, Jesus Christ, reveals to him that he wants to come alive in him. Now, this is important because when God raised Jesus from the dead, that was the beginning of a new life and a new hope. God can raise the dead. That story was so powerful that people who had believed all of those years had to now embrace a new way. Those that were holding on to those old traditions have to now embrace the new resurrected Christ, not just the crucified Christ, not just the Christ that died, but the resurrected Christ. Have you embraced the resurrected Christ? I tell you, do you not know that we serve a God that hung, bled, suffered, and died, but he got up? Somebody declared he got up. So Paul says we serve a God that raises the dead. And every time we have an opportunity to come in and worship, nobody should have to pump us and prime us, but we ought to rejoice simply because, excuse me, Jesus got up. I'm rejoicing today. And it's not about money, cars, clothes. It's about the fact that he got up. But then Paul says, God raised the dead, and that includes me. I was dead to purpose, dead to my identity, and on the wrong side. But God raised me from a spiritual dead state. Do you not know there are walking dead men? You say, what, Pastor? Yeah, there are people that are naturally alive, but are spiritually dead. And they live their lives through the stories of others. All they do is talk about the stories of others. But no, today we have an opportunity to get up in Jesus. Oh, have you ever thought about your resurrection story? Every time I come to worship, I think about the change that God has made in my life. Can you think about those moments where you didn't have a mind to live for Jesus and yet God got you up? So when I come to worship, I'm not just shouting because Jesus got up, but I'm shouting today because he picked me up. He turned me around. He placed my feet on solid ground. Yes, Jesus got up, but have you gotten up? And everyone that has gotten up in Christ have a new praise, a new song, a new story, a story that must be told. And so today, as you prepare to go into your day, I want you to seize every experience of your life through the perspective that Paul had. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more, much more about Acts 26. So I want you to be at church, but I just wanted to prepare your hearts for the worship experience. That we're not just coming today to talk about the story of Jesus. We're not just coming today to talk about the story of Dr. King. But I want everybody that's got a story to think about the fact that every experience of our lives is a continual writing of our story and an opportunity to read out our story. You don't know the blessing of simply being alive today. And your seeing of this brand new day has an opportunity in it that when I praise, I'm telling my story. When I worship, I'm telling my story. When I come together in the house of worship, I'm telling my story. When I lift my hands, I'm telling my story. When I open my mouth and I celebrate, I'm telling my story. But when I sit and pay attention to the word, I understand that he's still writing. When I engage in ministry, when I serve, when I become an active part of my church, that is the continual writing of my story. And when I get together around people that know that God is still writing stories, it becomes encouragement for me. Sometimes I feel down. Sometimes I feel like God is through with me. But I need somebody to know God is not through with you. God is still writing your story. But have you ever told how far you've come? And he hadn't brought you this far to leave you. So today, what's your story? The story of Jesus gives you hope for yours. The story of King gives you hope for yours. But life has truly not come alive until you understand the story that God has given to you and the fact that he's still writing your story. So, Father, thank you for this day. You're not through with us. You're still writing our stories. Help us to shine our light everywhere we go and know that every moment we encounter in life is for the continual writing and sharing of the story you have given to every single one of us. Thank you for our story. In Jesus' name, amen. Y'all, I need you, we're getting off. I need you to go and get ready. You're probably getting ready as you're listening to this. I want to see you at church today. Listen, if you've been blessed today by this message, you can share it and you can sow into this word and this work. You know the Cash App, $Ignite CDM. But listen, I want to see your face in the place or even in the virtual sanctuary. Today, I'm not preaching about what's your story. Today, our title, can I tell y'all? Now, y'all better act like you ain't heard it. But the title is I Had a Dream. I Had a Dream. Oh, it's going to be good. Listen, all right. God bless you. God keep you. I'll see you in church. I love you. Nothing you can do about it. 9 a.m. Sunday school. 10 a.m. worship. 12:30, our legacy workshop, estate and retirement planning in partnership with the Zetas of Pittsburgh. Man, it's going to be an awesome day. See you soon. Again, I love you. Nothing you can do about it. Be blessed.
And when we have accurate knowledge, we'll be able to go out and tell women, men, boys, and girls that Jesus Christ saves.
The spirit that's in you is to be innovative, to defy the odds, to go against the grain, to go against tradition, to do a new thing, to do a radical thing.